Okay guys, so in the last session what we have discussed about the what are the system databases, right? And what are the DML commands and DDL commands and DCL commands in the SQL server. Okay, what are the DML commands? What are the DDL commands? DDL means data definition language, right? What about the DML? DML means data definition,
Manipulation language.
yes, language. And what about the DCL? Data control.
Language.
So what are the commands under DDL? Create,
Okay.
alter, drop, truncate.
Truncate.
Okay, so what are the DML commands? Insert,
Delete, insert,
yes, insert, update,
Select, update, delete.
delete and select.
delete, select. Okay, what are the DCL commands?
Grant,
Grant,
revoke,
revoke, and
commit,
Roll back.
commit, rollback. Okay, so these are all the commands we have in the SQL server. So 99 percentage, if you want to write down any SQL command here, definitely you have to start any of one command. You have to start with any of one command out of these 12 commands. Okay, so that is the reason you have to be clear about these commands. Each command and the syntax and how we are going to use the purpose of the each command you have to know. Okay, right. So till now what we did, we have just created a database, right? So which database you have created? Under the databases you can see BIDB. Okay, so if you want to create any tables inside this database, right now I don't have any tables under this BIDB. User defined tables we don't have. These are the system databases, sorry, system tables, right? So if you want to create your own user defined table, so you have to use the create command. Before you are going to create a table, in which database you are going to create the table, you have to specify. In which database you are going to create the table? In the database name you have to specify here. The database name is BIDB. So you can do like this way. Manually you can go here under this drop down, you have to select the whatever the database you want to use. Okay, the database name BIDB, right? Or you can do like you can write down a command like this way. Use the database name BIDB. So if you are writing this command, when you are going to execute, see, for example, if I am executing this command, see, automatically it is changing the database name here. Okay, now you can start your SQL commands. You can write down and you can execute over here. So whatever you are executing over here, so automatically those result will store inside this database only. Okay, right. So first I want to create a table. The table structure is, so employee number and employee name. Okay, there are 4 columns I want to create. Employee number, employee name, salary and joining date. Okay, so these are the four columns I want to store related to an employee. Okay, so the employee number is I'm going to maintain like this way: 100, 200, 300, 400, like this way. It's a complete numeric value. Numeric in the sense 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this way. So it's a what kind of data type you are going to use to store these employee numbers. You have to specify the data type for this employee number column in the table. And this employee name we are going to maintain like Swaran, Sagar, Varun, okay, Pavan. So in this way I want to maintain the names like it's a characters. So for these characters, what kind of data type you are going to keep, and what are the different data types we have in the SQL Server. And the salary, if you want to maintain like this 2000, 3000, 4000, yes you can. Or if you want to maintain per hour basis, 10.50 or $30 5.0, like this way. So these persons salary is 30.50 per person, and this is 40.50. okay, this is 50.60, like this way. And the joining date is 2016 0101, 2017 0101, and this is 2017 0201. Whatever the dates you can maintain here. So what kind of data type we have to maintain this? Okay, right. So we are going to create the table. Before we are going to create a table, so what are the different data types we have in the SQL Server? What are the different data types? Very important. Right. So what is the command you are going to use to create a table? We'll start the creation of the table. Create table. We are going to create a table, not a database. If you want to create the database, create database and the database name. So here create table. What is the table you want to give? I want to give the table name as EMP. Okay. So whatever the statements you are writing here, if you are making this commented, it don't execute. Okay. It will execute only uncommented statements. This it will execute and this it will execute. It don't execute this command because this is commented. Okay, right. So now create table EMP. So what is the first column we want to maintain? That is employee number. So try to give the short names. Okay, in short names, and so it's a meaningful. Don't write employee number, that long lengthy column names. Okay, in the short form E number. So what is the data type you want to give for this employee number? So the data type we have to maintain these kind of values like 100, 200, 300, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, we have a int data type. Okay, we have the integer data type. So you can use directly integer data type. And for the int data type, we have small int and big int also. Small int and big int also, we have the data types. If you want to use the number is for example this much of range number, if you want to use, you can go to the big int. Okay, so if you want to use the range of from 30 to 1000 something, okay, and in the positive direction up to this one. So the numbers we can clearly get from the Google. Okay, normally if you want to maintain any numbers, so we are using 99% into data type only. Okay, right, so you just use into data type. And the next one is employee name. So this employee name we are going to maintain the integer value, sorry, characters. So what kind of data types we have in the SQL Server? Those are char data type, varchar data type, and varchar data type. Okay, so these are the different data types we have in the SQL Server to maintain the characters, right? So what is the difference between this char, varchar and varchar? So which one I have to use here? If I am using char data type, what will happen? If I am using varchar and varchar, okay, right. So the char data type is a fixed length. The fixed size data type means, so you have to specify how many characters of the space you want to specify. For example, the employee name column, I want to maintain Swaran, SWARAM. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters. Means each character will take 1 byte. One single character, if you want to store inside this table, it will occupy 1 byte of the space. So the maximum number of bytes, how many you want to specify here? Char, if I am giving 10, what will happen? The max number of characters, number of bytes it will allow to insert is only 10. If you are trying to insert a name more than 10 characters, it don't allow to insert. If I am inserting less than 10, for example Swaran, there are 6 characters, so it will occupy 6 bytes. Then what about the remaining 4 bytes? If you are using the char data type, even if you are not utilizing the entire space, the char database don't release the remaining space. It will waste the remaining space. This is the char if you are giving 10 characters. But if you are inserting only 6 characters, means only 6 bytes. There are 4 more bytes space is there. Okay, there are 4 more bytes space is there. But it don't release these 4 bytes. Even if you are inserting 6 bytes, it will waste the remaining 4 byte space. Because if you are giving the char fixed size, okay, if you are giving character data type, so even if you are, whether you are using or not using, it will use the entire space for a single insertion. Okay, so that is the waste of the memory sometimes. If you are occupying 10 characters, no problem. If you are not occupying, it's not mandatory. Always each person name, employee name should be 10 characters. It may be 5 characters, it may be 3 characters, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So now my requirement is how many characters I am inserting. I want to use only that many number of characters. Okay, I want to use only that many number of characters. For example, if I am inserting Swaran, how many characters are there? Only 6 characters. So I want to use only 6 characters. and the remaining 4 characters next time if I am inserting any Varun or something. So Varun is 5 characters. So 4 character space it will use, and one more character is using in the next one. So the data type is varchar data type. If you are using varchar data type, the max length if you are giving 10, if you are inserting only 5 characters, the remaining 5 characters next time, the remaining 5 bytes next time whenever you are inserting any value, it will use those space. It don't waste the memory. That is varchar data type. Okay. So what is this nvarchar data type? What is the difference between varchar and nvarchar? So the varchar and nvarchar is, we are calling this varchar is a non-Unicode data type. This is Unicode data type. What is a non-Unicode and what is a Unicode? So the Unicode data type, it will accept any kind of special characters like these characters. Not only the characters like A, B, C, D like this. It will allow to insert special characters as well as numbers. Okay, it's a combination of numbers as well as some other different languages. What are the other different languages? If you observe the Japanese, Korean and China something, these people languages are very different. You know, these people are not using English letters. They are using their special characters. So if you want to store these kind of special characters in the table in SQL Server, definitely you have to use the nvarchar data type only. The varchar and char data types can't support. So when you are inserting these Japanese, Korean, China characters, each character, it will use 2 bytes of the space. Okay, if you are trying to insert, for example, if you are inserting a yes character in the SQL Server, it will occupy only 1 byte. But if you are using this Japanese, Korean, China language, it will occupy 2 bytes. Okay, for normal these symbols and these numbers, it will occupy only 1 byte only, or characters, only in the special case of these languages. If you are trying to store these languages, definitely you have to use nvarchar. Okay, so what is the maximum size these data types will allow? The maximum size is how many? 8,000 characters, right? So here also it will allow 8,000, and this one also 8,000, and this one also 8,000 bytes, not characters. If you are not specifying anything, it will allow only 1 byte. Means only 1 character you can insert. If you are putting like this way, max, varchar max, or nvarchar max, or char max, so it will allow up to 2 GB of the data. Okay, it will allow 2 GB of the data. So this is the character data type and varchar and varchar. So the interview question, this is an interview question, important. What is the difference between the char, varchar and nvarchar? Okay, so we have to write down the answer. Character data type is a fixed length data type. It won't release the remaining space when you are inserting the number of characters less than your max size. The varchar will varying based on the number of bytes, number of characters you are inserting. It will release the remaining space. And the nvarchar is It's a Unicode data type. It is also releasing the same space. How many number of bytes it wants, it will use only those number of bytes, and the remaining it will release. Okay, the only difference between varchar and varchar is a non-Unicode data type. It will allow to insert only characters, and nvarchar is Unicode data type. It will allow to insert the special languages also. Okay, right. So now what I want to use, varchar I want to use, because I am going to maintain only characters like Swaran, Sagar, Varun, Pavan, like this way. Okay, right. So you can use varchar. The size is max I want to give 15, because the names of the people, employees, so it's a 15 is the max. You can give 100 also, no problem. Okay, right. The next one is salary. The salary I want to give based on the hourly basis. Okay, for example, 30.50. What is this value? If it is a 30 or if it is a 50, you can maintain integer into data type. So what are the examples for integer data type? 100, 200, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. These are the int data types. What is this 30.50? So you can use in these kind of scenarios two data types we have. One is float data type. The second one is decimal data type. So what is the difference between the float and decimal? Okay, for example, I want to give the size for this decimal like this way, 5, 3. Okay, what is the meaning of 5 and what is the meaning of 3? So how much value you can store in this kind of data type? For this salary, if you are keeping like this way, 5, 3 means total number of digits you have to maintain is 5. Okay, after the dot, after the decimal point, so how many number of digits you want to maintain? Only 3, like this way. For example, 30.524. See, total number of digits how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after the dot, after the decimal is 30. How many digits are there? 5, 2, 4. 3 digits are there. So that is the meaning of decimal 5, 3. Okay. So it is a more accuracy than the float. Float will take approximate value. For example, if you are giving float 6, what is this? Either you can maintain 20.334, either you can maintain you can make one more digit over here, total 6. Okay, so that is the float data type. If you are not specifying any float, the default value is how many number of digits it will allow? 54 digits. For decimal, if you are not specifying this, that means that is 18, 0. Total 18 number of bytes and no digits after the decimal. The default values, if you are specifying like this way, decimal or float, how many it will allow? 54. If you are putting decimal like this way, how many it will allow? 18, 0 means 18 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until 18 number of numerics. Okay, so these are the decimal and float value. So I want to maintain here float value only to maintain the data type like 3.5, 30.50, 40.50 like this. You can maintain the decimal also. Right. So the next one is joining date. So the joining date is a date column. What are the date data types we have? We have the date data types. If you want to maintain the date like this way, 2016 January 1st. If you want to maintain this date, so what you have to do? The data type is date data type. Or if you want to maintain the time like 20, not 20, right now the time here is morning 7:28 minutes 40 seconds and 45 milliseconds. If you want to maintain this day time only, so the data type is time data type. If you want to maintain the date, we have date data type. Okay. If you want to maintain both in a single, like this way, 2016 01 01 07 28 40 456. The data type is date time. The combination of date and time. If you want to maintain date as well as exact time also. So if you are using this date time, the capacity to maintain a date, the range of the date is up to 3 digits of the milliseconds part. This is milliseconds. This part is date part. Okay. So the date you can maintain only greater than 1700th year. If you are trying to insert the year is, sorry, this is 2016, right? Okay. If you want to maintain the date like 1500th year, if you are trying to store this date, it don't allow to insert the date time. The date time data type allows to insert only the dates greater than 1700th year, before Christu, after Christu. Then if you want to maintain the 1500th year, the another data type is date time to data type. Date time to data type. And one more advantage of this date time to is it will give the more fractional values in the milliseconds. How many it will give? 7 it will give. Okay, date time and date time. So what is the difference between date time and date time 2? The date time will allow to insert less than 1700 as well as greater than 1700, and also 7 digits in the milliseconds part, more fractional values. But in date time only it will allow 3, and it don't allow to insert the less than 1700th year values. Okay. So which data type you want to use? I want to maintain only date. I don't want to maintain the time. So you can take date. That's all. I want to maintain the each employee image also. I want to upload and I want to store inside the table employees pics. So for that, what data type we have to use? Image data type, or you can use var binary data type. Okay, var binary type you can use. Sometimes a raw data is coming, it is a mixed of the all kind of data. So there is some characters, there is some special characters, okay, and there is some other language characters, and there is some date also is there, like 2016 0101. It's a mixed column is coming from a, if you want to insert these kind of mixed values, we have another data type, that is SQL underscore variant, SQL variant, the data type. If you are using this data type, it will allow to insert any kind of data type. Just use for this, just for storing. If you are further, if you are going to do anything, you can't do operations. Okay, so very rare case we are using to store this kind of data when the data is coming very badly. Okay, right. So these are the different kind of data types we have in the SQL Server. Okay, so 99% we are using the data types is integer, varchar, float or decimal, or date time data type. These are primarily we are using the data types. Okay, now I am going to create this table. Execute the command. Command completed successfully. We'll see whether the table is created or not. Refresh it. See, employee table is created. You can click over here and you can see the under what are the columns we have. See the employee number, employee name, salary, joining date, the different data types, and you can insert the null value also. So if you want to know the full information about the table, when the table was created, who was created this table, what kind of table this one, okay, what are the columns we have in this table, what are the data types we have in this table. So all this kind of information if you want to see about this table, so you just highlight this table with your mouse. See, for example EMP I am going to write down here. Just highlight this table, press Alt F1. It will give the clear information about. The table name is EMP, owner is DBO, and the type is user table, and the created time is this one. Okay, so what is this owner? Right. So I'm going to create 10 tables in this database. EMP table, department table, or for example in my business, I have 2 employee tables. So this employees belongs to, this employee table belongs to marketing department. Okay, sorry. And I have another employee table. This employee table belongs to only this information. So this employee information belongs to marketing department. and this employee table belongs to finance department. So how can you maintain the difference when you are creating the table? So I want to create the employee table and department table and some other tables also. In this particular marketing department, so the information about the employees I want to maintain in a 10 tables, like their departments and what are the stores, the information. And this also under finance also. So in a single database if you are creating, so when you are going to create these two, you can distinguish between these tables. How can we distinguish between these tables? By using the schema name. So normally in the high level we have a database. Inside the database you are going to create a number of tables. So if you want to apply any property for a table, so if you are applying on this database level, it will apply for all the tables in that particular database. But my requirement is I want to apply a property for these first 8 tables because these 8 tables belongs to marketing department and these second 8 tables belongs to finance department. So how can you apply the property for the first 8 tables is different property and the second 8 tables is different property? So when you are going to create the table, you can create that table under a particular schema. So you can apply the property or rule on schema level. So whatever the property, whatever the rule you have applied for that particular schema, all that rules will come into the tables whatever belongs to you have created under that particular schema. For example, I want to create a schema. What schema you want to create? I want to create schema, create schema. What is the schema name? I want to give marketing. Execute. The schema created. Now if you are going to create a table, so already we have created this table, right? Okay. So I want to give a different table name, EMP1 table. So this table I want to create under the schema of marketing. So before the table name, you just add the schema name. If you are not giving any schema name, what is the schema name it will take? It will take the default schema name is DBO. If you are not specifying. If you are specifying a particular schema, already I have created one schema that is marketing. Now I am going to create this EMP1 table under this marketing schema. Execute it. And just refresh it. See, marketing.emp1. If you want to create one more table, emp2 table under the same schema. Under table, see, marketing.emp1, marketing.emp2. If you want to create a new schema, finance, and if you want to create the table under this particular schema with emp3 table. Sorry, you have to create the schema first. Right. See, finance.emp3. So if you are applying a property on the schema level, that will applicable for whatever the tables under this schema. If you are applying a property for this marketing schema, so that property will apply for all these tables belongs to that particular schema. Okay, so the schema is nothing but another level, the second level division of the tables. A database having the number of tables, a collection of tables. Inside this database, these tables belongs to this. If you want to group up your tables, these tables belongs to this particular schema, so you have to create the schema, and when you are going to create the table, so you have to add that schema name before the table name. Clear? So this is about the different kind of data types in the SQL Server and what is a schema in the SQL Server.